Welcome everybody to my YouTube channel. This video is going to cover session number 1 of the academic writing course. I'm your course lecturer, Ferdun T.S. Welcome. Let's continue and go and check the next slide. Sorry. Yes. Okay. So chapter number 1. Chapter number 1 is going to cover background to writing. And in this video, we will focus on chapter 1 alone. Might also do that in video number 2 as well. So what are the sections of this video? This video is divided into 3 different sections. One is the purpose of academic writing. Second, once we're done with that, of course, we will go to the second section, which is the common types of academic writing. And third section is going to focus on the format or the structure of long and short writing tasks. Section 1, the purpose of academic writing. So there are many purposes for people who, or let's say there are many reasons that people want to learn academic writing. However, the most common ones are: 1, if they want to write a report on a piece of research they've done. 2, they want to answer a question that the writer has been given, in this case the writer being the person, or they have chosen by themselves. 3rd, they want to discuss a subject of common interest and give their own view or their own opinion. And last but not least, to synthesize research done by others, done by other people on a topic. For example, a person has done research on one topic and they have written a book. Another person has done research on the same topic, but they have written a journal article. Another person has done it and has made a YouTube video even, let's say. You can synthesize, you can combine them and get one very strong research, and when you do that, you also need academic writing. So, continuing, section 2. What are the common types of academic writing? So these are the different, let's say, terminologies that we come across with when we're studying academic writing. What are they? Let's see. Firstly, we have something called notes. And notes is something that is many times, let's say, people don't really know what it is. So what is a note? What are notes, let's say? Notes are a written record of the main points of a text or lecture, and this is just for students' personal use. So a professor is not going to ask you to provide him or her with the notes. It is something that is for you to learn better and done. That's it. Maybe sometimes, your classmate has missed a lecture and they can ask you for the notes, but that's it. That's all it is. Nothing else after that. Another thing that we have here is a report. What is a report? A report is a description of something a student has done. Okay, for example, in conducting a survey. So let's say that you went around and you got to one area and you conducted your survey amongst people, let's say 100 people. Now, when you come back and you want to share description and you want to share the outcome of your survey, let's say, you need to write it. And that piece of text is called a report. Okay, third one, a project. What is a project? A project is a piece of research, okay? It is either done individually or as a group. And most of the time, the topic is chosen by the student or the students as, the ones that are present, of course, in the group. What is an essay? An essay, let's say, is one of the most common types of written work. And mainly the title is given by the teacher or the professor. And they're normally between 1,000 words up to 5,000 words. Now, I know we have some essays that are around 250 to 350, and that's okay, but we're talking about the academic essays, and these ones mostly, are required to be written in university courses and university degree courses. So in there, it's mostly around 1,000 to 5,000. Another word is a dissertation, which is also sometimes known as a thesis. So a dissertation or a thesis is the longest piece of writing that is normally done by a student. Okay, then the student, of course, who is studying their higher education degree, like what do you say, a bachelor's degree or an associate degree or a master's degree or a PhD, any of them. Okay, so a dissertation or a thesis is very, very long. It might be around 20,000 words plus, which might equal to, let's say, 35 pages, 90 pages, 200 pages, 300 pages, some people have even written. And the last one is the word paper. Now, the word paper, we're not talking about the other paper that you all know of and you're writing on, not that one. A paper is a general term. It's a general word for any academic essay, any academic report, any academic presentation, or even an article. Okay? You can just call all of them paper. My paper, your paper, like that. Okay. Section 3. The format or the structure of long and short writing tasks. Mainly academic, of course. So, the format of short academic essays are, as you can see here. It will have an introduction paragraph, and inside you have inside you have a hook. You have one part named background information, in which you provide background information to the topic. And third, you will have a thesis statement. Once you're done with the introduction, you have something called a body. Inside the body, you have several paragraphs, and each of them will start with the topic sentence, will have some supporting sentences, and it will have a concluding statement. And at the end, it will have a conclusion paragraph, inside which you have a summary and a final comment. And be very careful that these elements or this structure can also help you on most of the exams. Most of the exams have this type of essay required from the test taker. So the format or the structure of long academic essays are as follows. You have an introduction paragraph in which you have a hook, you have a background information part, and you also have a thesis statement. Once done with that, you have a main body. Once again, several paragraphs, each of them starting with the topic sentence, evidence of the topic sentence, supporting the topic sentence, analysis of the evidence, and you are going to have a concluding statement at the end of each. And then you have a conclusion paragraph. Inside the conclusion paragraph, of course, you have a summary, you have a synthesis of the different points, you have an answer to the essay question that the professor has given you. You have a suggestion if you want, you can suggest something for the people to do at the end. And you will have a concluding statement or a concluding question, but don't go with both. It is just going to confuse the people reading your essay or your paper. Okay, continuing, what about the format of a longer academic essay? This one is research-based. Okay, so once again, you have an introduction paragraph inside which you have a hook, you have background information, you have a research question or objective, you have a thesis statement, you can also have an outline of the main sections there. Oh, sorry guys, not an introduction paragraph, I meant an introduction part. It can have more than one paragraph. But it's better if you can finish it in one. Okay, then you have a main body part. Now, in the main body part, you have a literature review part, you have a case study part, and you have a discussion part. Once you're done with that, you have a conclusion part. And in the section of conclusion, you can go with the following things. You can do a summary, you can do a synthesis of the different points, you can answer the research question, very briefly. You can do a suggestion, give a suggestion to the people who read it. And you can also have a concluding statement or a question. And you can also have references, of course, in which you just write the list of the sources you've used. And you will also have an appendices part in which you write additional information that you could not fit in your paper. What about the general format of dissertations and journal articles? Now, I'm not saying that this is what all of them will look like, okay? But this is a very general one. If you do this, 90% of the time it might work. So, a dissertation or a journal article will generally start with an abstract. So for those people who do not know what an abstract is just a very brief summary of your paper. Okay, but you write it at the beginning and not at the end. So this is something that is really cool about it. Then after the abstract, you will have one section called the list of contents. After that, you will have a list of tables in which you just write or you bring the tables and their pages next to them, of course. You will also have an introduction part in which you write the introduction. You have the elements on the other slides as well. You also have the main body, including, let's say, literature review, the case study, the findings that you got from it, and the discussion of those. You also have a conclusion part, and then you have the acknowledgements part. For those people who don't know what this is, it's just a part where you thank and you say that you're thankful for the help and for the assistance that you got from the different people during the time that you had to write your work. You also have a references section in which you just write the sources and the appendices for additional information. Now we come to a journal article. What is a journal article? A journal article is a shorter piece of writing than a book. Okay, so it's shorter than a book, and it is mostly written about a specific topic. It is a secondary, peer-reviewed source that can be used in research papers. And we should also not forget that journal articles are published in journals. It means that they are in periods, okay? So they come in periods. And they're published regularly, of course, throughout the year. They present the most recent research and are written by experts for other experts. And journal articles may be published in print or online formats or both, of course, okay? So what is the structure of a journal article? A journal article can have the following elements. It can have a title, the author section, the abstract, the keyword section, the introduction, the methods, the results section, the discussion, the conclusion part, the references, and the acknowledgements. So it's a very long piece of work, I know. For those people who need more information, what each of these parts do not worry. I have prepared a PDF file that I can share with you via email, of course, and the email is on the last slide of today's video. Okay, so you can send me an email and asking about it, and I will share it. So what is a dissertation? A dissertation is a long piece of academic writing based on original research. Do not forget, original. Okay, so it's not something that you can copy paste here. Okay, so it must be original. And it is submitted as part of an undergraduate or postgraduate degree course. It is usually the largest and the final piece of written work produced during a degree. A dissertation involves in-depth, it means like it is very deep in the different information parts that it has, okay? Involves in-depth consideration of a problem or a question chosen by the student. Now be very careful, the professor has no right to give you what you should write about. But of course your topic or your problem or your question that you have chosen to write your dissertation about at least must be connected to your course, so to your major, to your field. Don't go writing about something else completely. And it requires a high level of independent research, analysis, and writing skills. And the structure for a dissertation are as follows, or the elements, let's say, are as follows. You have first a title page. After that, you have the acknowledgements section. Then you have the abstract section. Then you have the table of contents. Then you have the list of the tables and the figures used in the paper. Then you have the list of the abbreviations used in the paper. You have a glossary section. You also have an introduction part, you have the literature review, you have the methodology, and you at the end have a results section. Once again, the PDF is prepared for the dissertation structure as well. An email can be sent to me at the end of the video, and I will share it with you. So what is a literature review in your idea? A literature review is a type of academic writing, okay, that provides an overview, a summary, let's say, or an outline of existing knowledge in a particular field of research. A good literature review summarizes, analyzes, evaluates, and synthesizes the relevant literature within a particular field of research. A literature review is different from an essay, so be very careful of this, because it focuses on what the research and the researchers who have undertaken research on your topic, rather than proving a point. An essay is mostly about proving a point, but literature is not. A literature review also includes a critical evaluation of the material rather than just reporting it. Okay? However, inside a longer academic essay, if you put a literature review, of course, a literature review inside a longer academic essay usually forms a section or part of the essay. It helps to establish your familiarity with and understanding of current research in your field before carrying out your own investigation. It also helps you to refine your topic and frame your research questions properly. So what is the structure of a literature review? Whether inside a longer academic essay or as a standalone piece of academic writing, a literature review has the following points, okay? The following elements, let's say. The first part is an introduction part. It will establish the context for your topic and the outline, and it outlines your main contentions about the literature as well. In the main body section, it will explain and support these contentions in detail using evidence from the literature. And in the end, it will have a conclusion part. The conclusion summarizes your main points and restates your contention again. Okay? What is a case study? A case study is a detailed study of a specific subject, such as a person, a group, a place, an event, an organization, or a phenomenon. And not to forget, case studies are commonly used in social, educational, clinical, and business research to explore the key characteristics, meanings, and implications of the case or example in this case. A case study is a type of academic writing that shows how theory can be applied to real-life situations. Okay? It also helps to identify new or unexpected insights, challenge existing assumptions, and propose practical solutions, and open up new directions for future research and further research. Inside a longer academic essay, a case study can be used as a method of data collection or analysis. It can help to answer a specific question using examples from the case to support your argument. It can also help to examine what happened and why, and make recommendations or identify solutions to the problem that we are, for example, discussing in our paper. And the structure of a case study is like this. Whether it is inside the longer academic essay or it is as a standalone piece, they mostly have this structure. It will have an introduction part, it will have a background part, an analysis part, and a conclusion part. In the introduction part, it will introduce the case and the research problem, and it is also going to provide an overview of the main issues and the findings. The background part is going to provide relevant information about the case and its context, such as the history, the setting of the, for example, the survey or the experiment, the participants, the events, and other stuff that is important, but not the main focus. Then you have the analysis. In the analysis part, we can do something like this. The analysis discusses the main themes and the issues of the case in relation to what? In relation to the theory and the literature. It also evaluates the strengths and the weaknesses of the case and its implications. And in the conclusion part, we can say that the conclusion summarizes the main points and the main findings of the analysis and provide recommendations or suggestions for future action or for future research. So what are they? This is a little part that we can do and practice with ourselves. I'll give you some time, about 5 seconds, of course, but if you need more, you can just pause the video and write your own answers in the comment section or in a little note that you have with yourself. What are they? What is a short summary of 100 to 200 words, which explains the paper's purpose and the main findings of that? 2. What is a list of all the sources the writer has mentioned in the text? What do you call that? 3. A section at the end where additional information is included. What do you call that one? D. A short section where people who have helped the writer are thanked. Okay? The 5th one, or letter E, part of the main body in which the writer discusses relevant research. What is that? What do you call that? And the last one, what do you call a section where one particular example is described in detail? Have your answer ready? Let me bring it for you. And these are. The first one was an abstract. Second was the reference section. Third one was an appendix. Fourth one was the acknowledgement side or section. The 5th one was a literature review. And the last one was a case study. So thank you guys so much for sticking to the end of the video. I really loved, making this video. I hope you also enjoyed it. So do not forget to follow us for more, content. Of course, the private Instagram that I have is that one. You can find it using that username. The username, of our institution, let's say, is that one, at Swift Learning Institute. On Instagram, you can go and search for it and follow us. We will offer more free online courses for people. And my own email is ferdun.wassenzada@gmail.com. Just send me an email and I will share the PDF that we talked about inside the video. So thank you all for just joining, let's say, and have a beautiful day. Bye-bye.